Hello, everyone. It's Cherim here, and yep, here's my surprise guest, Sir Brian Matt. Hey, why don't you go introduce yourself? Brian with the
Hello,
yeah.
Term. Thank you so much. Sorry this took a bit of time to get set up, but I do appreciate it. And my name is Brian MATT-UHL, and I am the main announcer for Sega Super Monkey Ball since the year 2000. So we're in our 21st year now. So
That's crazy.
yes,
That's like literally
crazy. I
crazy.
know. Someone had sent me something the other day, and they said. Oh, look at it. It's the 19th anniversary of Super Monkey Ball 2. And I'm like, wow,
Oh
wow,
yeah,
wow,
and that
wow.
just passed. That's
Yes, it did. It did. And I was looking through old notes and I was seeing all the recording dates. I was kind of curious. This went back a few months ago. And I was quite curious just to see um, when we did, because we did a lot of recordings over the years. And it started in April 2000. And then again, we did recordings in 2001. And I was just trying to put the time frame together when he told me, like, oh, it's been 19 years. And I realized at that point that, oh, yeah, maybe that time we recorded just additional lines and it took 2 or 3 months before Super Monkey Ball 2 was released. But this is going back a bit and many, many jobs ago. So, no, but still very, very interesting anyway that we're still here 20 years later
yeah,
doing Super Monkey Ball. Yes.
yeah. I'm surprised the series has stayed relevant. When it came out, I was like 2 years old. So
Just a pup.
yeah,
Exactly.
I got into the franchise when I was 6. My first game, which I actually still own, was Touch and Roll. It's still the original
Okay.
copy with the whole sticker and stuff. And then I played.
Wow.
So that I know that game you're not in because it's like there's no announcer. But then I played 2 for the
Right.
first time. Is when I heard your voice for the very first time.
Right. 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 No, the people that have been fans of Super Monkey Ball have helped me a lot. Like I said, the years go by and you get involved with various gaming companies and different projects, and it becomes a bit of a blur at times. But I do, of course, I remember Super Monkey Ball and working with Nagoshi-san and being in different Sega studios and playing with the original arcade game, with the banana joystick.
Yeah.
And it was that was in the Sega studios, and there used to be 4 studios out by Haneda Airport, just massive studios, and now the studio has been moved into downtown Tokyo, so they've kind of made things a lot smaller and more compact, we'll say. So yeah, but we did Super Monkey Ball, Super Monkey Ball 2, N-Gage, Junior, Deluxe, Adventure, mini game, present work, everything that came after. I think it was around 2010 or 2011 when we were working on another game, and that's when we moved studios. So yeah, this works very good as a benchmark and as far as a time frame for myself. So it's very, very interesting to see what's happened over the last 20 years. So
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. Yeah. Newer Monkey Ball games don't really have used the announcers, so I believe Adventure was the last game we've heard you in, maybe as of now, of course. But
Ed,
well,
Ed
with the exception of Paperball, because you're in that
right, Paperball, and then there's also mini game.
minigame. Hmm.
I don't know. I've just been given like it's like, oh, it's there, it's there, it's there, it's there, and I wasn't aware that the game was I mean the voice was used in so many games that were you know even used on an iPhone. There was an app that it was on. So yeah, there was a lot of different places it was used. So yeah,
Yeah, I think
and
it's yeah, it's crazy. You're a pretty like relevant like name in the Monkey Ball community. Like everyone who knows Monkey Ball knows you thanks to Nick Robinson.
yeah, thanks to Nick, he did a wonderful job. Um, that was a year. That was December 2019, and I think I missed him by one day. I was in Japan at the time, but he was on on his great search. And right when he landed or he got home, then one of my fellow narrators that I've known for like 25 years gave him my name, and then the rest is history, I guess you could say. But I have to give credit to Nick. I think between Nick's videos and my constant meetings, gripes, tears, sweat, everything with Sega Sammy, that was 99% of the reason why they brought this version of Super Monkey Ball back. They had no intention whatsoever going back. Sorry, time's a little bit rough here due to COVID, but in the last year and a half, they had no, prior to the last year and a half, sorry, they had no intention of reviving Super Monkey Ball because it was a flop in Japan. Super Monkey Ball was only a flop, was only a great success in Europe and the U.S. markets. But when it came to Japan, the Japanese just didn't get it. You know, some things click and some things don't click. And this one did not click with the Japanese. So they put a lot of their finances and money, put it into Yakuza at that time. But yeah, it's quite interesting. Again, you know, kudos to Nick. If it hadn't been for Nick, this would not be coming out on October 5th.
That's true. People call him the savior of Monkey Ball.
Oh, 100%. And you know, someone who's at the office and in the studio, I can tell you right now, with 100% clarity, 100% honesty, that if it had not been for Nick and we'll just say other things from my end and from my agent's end, from pushing Sega, this would have never happened, and we would have just seen more Yakuza, more Yakuza, more Yakuza, and that's it. So, yeah, you know, it's amazing the power that you know, people like Nick, an influencer, has on, you know, this mega company, this huge company, and to revive a game that they considered dead. After a few failures, they realized that, you know, just give up on it. It didn't work after a few of them. And so, yeah, put the money into Yakuza. So now the money went back into Super Monkey Ball. And yeah, I really, from what I've heard so far, yeah, this could be one of the biggest games of the year.
Yeah, it certainly seems so, with every new guest character being announced and all these special modes and all those from the main 3 games.
Right, and a lot of the modes and a lot of the new characters, this was really on the fly. If you would have asked me even 6 months ago, a lot of this didn't exist. So it's kind of, they want to see the initial, how do I say, they want to see the initial feeling or feedback from what people did and from pre-orders. And from pre-orders, they could get an idea, a number, and from there they realized, yeah, it's worth investing more and adding more characters. So it's still a work in motion. And that's why they bring out a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, because now that some of the staff is there and some of the staff is working remote. So yeah, 100% Nick, and through the meetings that we had and the pushing. And I think at that point, they actually saw that there was interest. People weren't interested in Yakuza. People weren't interested in what the Japanese were interested in. And by closing down a lot of the arcades for financial reasons, and of course due to COVID, I was in the arcade in Shibuya. Geez, when was the last time? I'm going to say April. And it was really empty. I mean, usually the arcades are very busy, and in Shibuya, it's only one street over from Shibuya Crossing, and yeah, the arcade was extremely quiet. So I can see why they're finally evolving out of the old ways of doing, you know, this kind of gaming and putting it online. I mean, this is the only way to do it now. Arcades are basically dead. So yeah, but anyway, time goes on.
Yeah, I've actually never seen a Monkey Ball arcade machine in person. I know there's one in America, in like Chicago, Illinois, like in America, but I've never seen one. All the arcades near me don't have one. But
Yeah, they're more like a museum piece.
yeah, I know, right? Like literally,
Yeah.
like when you say it, you're like, whoa, it's a Monkey Ball arcade machine, you know?
Yeah,
But
it's a classic. It's quite the classic, that's for sure.
yeah, I played it. I played it though. I played it on an emulator, and I recorded it
Oh,
on my
great.
channel. And
Great,
yeah,
great.
it's fun. I like it.
Good, good.
Is that you? Like that
No,
voice? Or
no,
it's a
no, no. At
robotic
that time,
voice?
yeah, the first narration was Super Monkey Ball 1, which I recorded, I almost want to say 1999, but I think the books showed it was the year 2000. I'm going to go 1999 or 2000. I've done a lot of games for Sega, and sometimes we look in the books and we're not quite sure what game was for what at that time. So some of them I knew, yeah, this was exactly for Super Monkey Ball, and other ones were just for other games because they were putting out a lot of games at that time. I mean, many, many, many games.
Yeah, during that time period, there are so many new franchises like Jet Set Radio, Space Channel 5, like and then Super Monkey Ball, and yeah.
We did Planet Harriers, I think back then we did 7th Cross Evolution. We did Daytona. I think I did 2 Daytonas, and Daytona was like in 2001. And Shenmue, we did 2 Shenmue, which was huge, and a very large cast as well. I think it was one of the largest foreign narrator casts that I've ever worked with. So that was fun. So yeah, a lot of games, definitely a lot of games with Sega, and yeah, it just has to take time to realize, was this Sega? Was this Konami? Was this another company, Nintendo, or who was it? So, but eventually, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. So it's good. It's all good anyway. So
yeah, it sounds like you've done a lot and you enjoy it. Like, to be honest.
Oh, I love it. It's interesting because I had a very interesting conversation a while back with a doctor. I was getting my hearing checked, and she had mentioned to me, she says, you've got you're very sensitive to certain sounds, but you have, she said, like the hearing of like a conductor. When something's wrong, or the pitch is wrong, or it doesn't fit, you can pick it out right away. But the curse side of it is if it's not a sound that sounds like, I don't know, I call it like, sorry, as the doctor said, she goes, it feels like honey in the ear. It really just drives me crazy when I hear certain sounds that just kind of upset hearing. But in the studio, it was always like, no, this was not right. And playing it with the music, or playing it with any background music that we had, it made it very, very easy to make the voice fit and create honey, I guess you could say. And getting that match was exciting, and it was very interesting. And just the various voices as well. Someone brought up something, I don't know, a couple months ago with a Gitaroman. And I do remember doing Gitaroman as well. And I was Wilhelm the Third. And it was the highest pitched voice I think I ever did, and probably didn't have a voice days afterwards. But yeah, the opportunities were remarkable. We had a lot of games that we had a chance to do, and especially 20 years ago when this was just all starting up, it was nonstop video games, nonstop. Yeah, probably more than I can remember.
Actually, you just answered one of my questions, which was like, what games did you voice over? But yeah, wow, sounds like you've done a lot, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, it's something, when you find something that you do and it's natural and it fits, and you go into the studio and everyone's sitting around, they're a little bit nervous. Are you going to get it right? And everything like that. It's like, yeah, I've got it. Don't worry. And you sit down, and then you get the right pitch, and then we're all like, so da yo ne. And we're all in agreement that this pitch was exactly what they were looking for. And there's a lot of bass narrators, but there's not many narrators that can do more than just a few octaves. And I think that was the part that, it was always a challenge, but it was, I don't know, sometimes you're just made to do certain jobs, or you're made for certain work, and when it matches and when it hits, wow, it's amazing.
I
It really
definitely agree
is.
with that. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think, yeah. Yeah, I think you're really great at your job too. I'm gonna be honest.
Thank you.
Like literally, this Banana Mania, everyone keeps commenting on my channel. Where's Brian Matt? We want Brian Matt in the game. You know.
I had to take a bit of a breather. I had other things that I was working on, and it just, I was getting bombarded. And I mean, it's not till October, and I really had to get other things done, and I had to kind of take a step back because it was dominating my days, and wherever I was, it just seemed like 24/7. What about this and what about that, and can you give a sample of this, and what lines and what characters and everything like that. And I don't work for PR for Sega, and I don't want to be PR for Sega. I'm a narrator and an announcer for Sega, but it's not my job to do that. And I just felt it was really overwhelming. So I kind of had to shut down for basically a couple months and just focus on other things in life, because life isn't all about Super Monkey Ball. Sorry,
Yeah.
I know people aren't going to like when I say that, but it's just the reality that I had to focus on other interests in life. And
that makes so much sense.
Yeah,
Taking a break is always necessary.
Yeah, Monkey Ball was a burnout the last few months, and when it came out, it was like great, good, wonderful. Glad that everything is good, and I thought it would just go silent, but it went the opposite. It just kept exploding, and then I kind of had to stop the interviews for a few months as well, just to, like I said, focus on other things. I mean, we're still at the end of August now anyway, so I don't know, maybe I'll rev things up again.
Yeah, game's almost out.
Yeah, at the end of September once again, and we'll see what happens at that time. So yeah, this is one of first interviews I've done in, I think, 6 weeks or something like that. I had to kind of say no to many things, and like I said, focus on other things in life. So
well, I'm glad you said yes to me.
Yeah. No, I know you're very well involved with the community. Like I said, I've taken a really step back, basically shut down, but I still see your name popping up here, there, and everywhere for some random reason or something. Or if I'm on YouTube, it's like I'll see something of yours. I'm like, wow, there he is again. And so the algos are picking up something.
Yeah,
that's
YouTube's been blessing me as of late with Monkey Ball. Let's hope it stays that way. But,
good,
yeah.
Wonderful.
But yeah, honestly, how do you feel about the Monkey Ball franchise as a whole? Like, I can share mine. Like, I think it's gone downhill, like, objectively, sales-wise. But I think Banana Mania might be the saving grace of this franchise. Like, what do you think?
You're 100% correct. I'm fascinated by finance. I'm fascinated by business. And I would say that, they had a couple failures. I remember in 2019, I was at the Tokyo, one of the game shows. It was 2019, 2018. Sorry, this whole COVID, it's knocked off a couple years.
You're good.
Either way. So knocked off days, months, years. Yeah. So it was at the Tokyo Game Show, and it was just a big flop, and it didn't work. And I think that's at that point they decided, okay, we're not going to be doing this anymore. We're going to put the money into Yakuza. Then COVID hit, and then the arcades had to close because they had to raise capital. And Monkey Ball for them is a cash cow. I mean, it's they know now something they did not know 18 months ago. They know now that there's a loyal base, and there's a lot of fans that want something. But saying that, they wanted something that was not of the bad games. They wanted something that was from the first two Super Monkey Balls. That's why in the Japanese title, you're going to see they call it remake, basically, of 1 and 2, because they were the most successful for them. And then the other ones were kind of a mess. So your point, you're 100% correct. Yes.
Yeah. I know, like, Banana Blitz was... Like, I remember when Banana Blitz HD came out, like, the entire community was like, what? Why would they do this? Why not 1 and 2? You know,
Yeah.
everyone was so confused, and I think Banana Blitz HD is actually a good game. I think it fixed a lot of the issues Banana Blitz had, but it's also like, why would they remake this? And of course, it didn't sell too well because like not many people played the original. I mean, I think actually more people are buying it now. Now that Banana Mania is becoming a thing, I've noticed that. I've also gotten a bunch of people into Monkey Ball, but yeah, I get
Yeah,
that.
we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I mean, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of different platforms now, a lot of different games, and this one they were trying to get the nostalgia and get the. I mean, it was cutting edge. I think for Super Monkey Ball 1 and 2. Those, I'm not being biased here, but they were the best games, and
Yeah.
they were the best prepared, and
Objectively, sales wise.
totally. Oh, sales were through the roof for both of those, and then it kind of went downhill afterwards. So yes, you are correct with what you're saying, with what you're stating.
Yeah, I actually do genuinely believe. I do believe Touch and Roll is a really good game. I feel like more people should play that. But that's just me. I think
Good.
Touch and Roll was the last good game to me. And
Yeah.
Banana Splits for the Vita, I hear is very good. I actually just got a Vita and it recently, and I played it. It's pretty fun, but I can see why it didn't sell out because it was on the Vita, the PlayStation Vita, which like not many people
Right.
had. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting how, even selling out to let's say Nintendo or to Xbox or to ever. To me, it's still fascinating how you do a job for a company and then it's sold to this and it's sold to that and the negotiations that go behind it. And some will go for something that's worthwhile, and other companies will just refuse to have it on their platform. But we've changed a lot, especially in the last 2 years. I mean, gaming has been immense, and the number of active called servers, I guess you could say, is phenomenal. I mean, it's like when we were talking now, we're trying to set up something on Discord, trying to set up something on Zoom, on Hangout. I mean, we have all these alternatives, which is a great thing to have instead of just one server, one board to work off of. It's great that we have so many that we can choose from. But saying that, at the same time, you can't keep everyone happy, and everyone has their favorite, to play on. So.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agree. And yeah, I think that Banana Mania being on like every single home console as of now, I think that'll be a huge like benefit. I'm getting it on Steam, so I'm getting it on PC.
Right.
And Switch,
Okay.
actually. I'm probably gonna get it on both.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Monkey Ball game?
Still love 1 and 2. I still, to me, that it's epic. It stands the test of time. Like, even I played it back in June, and I still love it. I just think the way that it was set up was remarkable, and it just sounded good. It was, I don't know, it's still relevant today,
People still
which is
speedrun the
interesting.
second game.
Yeah.
And Deluxe too.
Yeah. So when something can be made 20 years ago and still be relevant today, or have people that are still very interested in it, I think, wow, to me that's it's just remarkable. And I think the best out of all this year and a half, the best thing I can say is that it's so great when fans say, oh, you know what, 20 years ago I used to play with my brother, my sister, my dad, my mother, or whoever, and your voice brings back memories. And I'd never really thought of this before, but I guess we all have nostalgia in us. There's certain songs, there's certain sounds, there's certain commercials, there's certain sayings that I hear now, and I'm just like, oh, wow. It's nostalgia. It's just pure nostalgia. And I realize, for better or for worse, and everyone who's said these kind words, I'm basically going to be in their head for the rest of their life. But I have other, games that I've heard, or other voice actors that I've heard that have filled my ears over the years, and I will, take them to my grave. The beautiful sound of their voice, and just like I said, some things click for you and some
do.
things don't. And it also relies on, it's also the person's voice as well. Have it be a singer, have it be a voice actor. Just something about it that works.
Yeah, that's well said, actually. Yeah, definitely. So many people out there that are like, they just like respect you and love you. And honestly, you like, I texted you this once. I said you bring inspiration to an otherwise dying franchise, and I believe that's true. I really do. Your voice really brings people like joy, and it spurs them on. It inspires people. So yeah, thank you for that. Like,
Oh, thank you for the kind words. Oh, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it.
No problem. I actually wanted to ask you something that's not in my list, but do you have a favorite level from 1 or 2? That's just a random question. There's so many, so of course I understand if you don't.
No, in fact, I don't. It's one of the few that I don't know. It's just you pick up and you go, and I really I don't. I just, to me they worked. Of all the games that we did, best way to say it is compared to Daytona. For example, in 2001, Daytona was great to do, but I can remember, there's certain parts that I like and there's certain parts I didn't like. With Super Monkey Ball, no, I can pick up, leave, start again, and it doesn't matter where I am. I find it all very, very, inspiring or still interesting to this day.
That makes sense. So I'm assuming you like the classic designs of the monkeys better too?
Yes, definitely. I think that, definitely. They got it right. And I also believe because it wasn't rushed, there was we did a lot of prep time. We did a lot of studio time. I mean, a lot. Usually for a game, studio time never runs. We probably did 5-6 times amount of recording hours for Super Monkey Ball. Then the other games, let's say Daytona or the other games I mentioned previously, this one, the planning was endless. And even I remember we were auditioning, there was about 20 guys that were auditioning for this in Japan. And I mean, everyone was interested. Everyone wanted a certain range of voice, and but they worked with us, and they were still trying to figure things out themselves. They didn't want a standard like low bass voice. They wanted something that was fun, but again, honey in the ear. What works well. And I think when I was working at that time, especially at that time, Nagoshi Kamtoku, Nagoshi was very much involved. He was at the studio all the time. We worked together, and it's like, Brian, what do you think of this? And I'm like, well, what do you think of that? Why don't we try this range? Why don't we try that range? And then certain things, the few memories that I can visually see right now, I still see him and the staff through the window of the recording booth at the Sega studio. And we when we hit a certain, ready, and then when we hit the right ready, we just both looked at each other. It was like, yep, it was that one. And then we had to record it. We just did many recordings, and we kept it for the multiple weeks that we did do recordings, so we could keep that same voice anyway. So yeah, it was interesting. It was a good process.
It sounds like it's pretty smooth, and yeah, I think that's awesome. So I'm minorly, maybe like I'm somewhat into voice acting. I wish I could do more of it. Like, and I remember, you saw my video of me like trying my best to imitate you.
Yeah, it's a great, it's a very interesting business. I mean, a lot of people believe that being on camera, we did a lot of on camera also in Japan, but I don't know, there's just something great about voice acting. If you're someone who has, a certain ear that likes a certain sound, or, then it works very, very well for people, that's for sure. And that was kind of like my calling, I guess you could say. Just worked right, and it felt right. So
yeah, that's great. I think that's good. But think I'm out of questions. My last one is, do you have any questions for me you want to ask, or?
Oh, let me see here. How are you when you're, like I said, I've kind of unplugged the last 6 weeks or so. How do you feel at the present time things are evolving? Because I know I've heard and I have tried to avoid, but I've heard that there's like a little bit of this being released, a little bit of that being released, and then someone sent me a sample. Rob from Slovakia. Rob sent me a copy. Yes, yeah, great guy. He sent me. He says, "Oh, I got your." It's like, oh yeah, that's it. That's definitely part of it. What they release or when they release is up to PR again. I did not want to get involved whatsoever with PR, but I would ask you, someone who has actively been seeing this on a daily basis and still not going crazy from seeing it on a daily basis. How do you feel personally how things are evolving, or do you feel that it's a solid base, or do you think it's just a bunch of, one thing I was afraid of, a bunch of ideas being thrown together, or new characters, as you said, or new stages, or this and that? Is it too much, and will people get lost in it, do you believe, or your thoughts?
Let's see. So, being a content creator myself, and also since Sega doesn't put the videos they show on YouTube, so I've been doing that. Like, I've even talked to Sega America, and they're fine with it. So,
oh, good.
I have people commenting on my stuff, right? So, there's a lot of mixed reception of all the new changes. A lot of people don't like the new physics because it's not like the original. A lot of people definitely don't like the new music. A lot of people do like the new music, though. I like it personally. I think personally I like everything that they've shown so far. I think one gripe I have with it so far is, and I don't know if this is 100% confirmed, but the life system and challenge mode being gone. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems that's the case. I'm not sure. But everything else I'm fine with, even with all the guest characters I'm fine with. I know there are some people that are also not fine with it too, because it's like, it's Monkey Ball, not Sega, But I believe this game is intended to draw new people in, Because of the franchise, not many people know about it. Many people do know about it, but not like everyone. So they're bringing characters from Sonic, from Yakuza, and now from Persona. So they're trying to get people to come play, and I think it's great business, honestly. And I love Sega as a whole. I've been a long time Sega fan. Been playing Sonic and Monkey Ball forever. I played like Space Channel 5, Jet Set Radio, Persona. Like, I play all these games from Sega. Like, my collection of games has a bunch of them. Like, so I think it's great that they're doing that. So in my opinion, I think all the new changes are fine, and we haven't been shown any new stages yet. But I know, like, the description did say that there's going to be some, but we haven't seen any yet. We've just been showing. We've actually just been shown the Monkey Ball 2 story mode levels in order. That's what we've been shown. And besides the obvious trailers and all that, but yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think now that with August coming to an end and getting into September, you'll see more. Then you'll see a bit of a pullback from PR a couple weeks prior to release, and then when things are finally set and decided on at that time, like for everything, and then you'll see what happens at the launch anyway. So yeah,
I'm excited. October 1st can't come sooner.
October 5th.
Well, if you get digital deluxe, you'll get it.
Correct.
Early.
Correct. So
yeah,
I didn't know that everyone was so like stuck on 4 days earlier, but yeah, I can see it. I've had a few messages that
everyone's gonna get October 1st, and everyone I know so far is getting the digital deluxe version.
Right. Interesting. Well, it's just a month away anyway, so it'll be interesting to hear your feedback, and I'm also curious. I heard from Nick yesterday, and it'll be interesting to see what Nick and see what Rob and all the diehard fans have to, you know, what they say, if they like it or if they don't like it. And as far as the narrations that go with it, are they impressed or are they not impressed? Is it too squealy? Is it too noisy? Yeah, you'll get a chance to see all of that anyway. So I do know a few people that are getting a release. I think it's 20. September 25th, I believe that, which is not far off from your October 1st.
I think I'm one of those people actually.
Oh, okay, yeah. So so there's a gentleman that's taking care of that, and so people will get it. So whatever.
Danny Russell.
Yes, exactly. And so many people will be getting that. I think, the third week I was told, or thereabouts anyway. So yeah, so good. Well, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that it works well for you, and it's everything that you expect from the game, and I'm sure we'll get mixed emotions and mixed reactions, but that's just part of the game itself. You can't please everyone.
So definitely, and Sega can't please everyone either.
Yeah,
I know, exactly. Like the two biggest gripes people have, the general consensus I've noticed, is the sound effects. They're not like the same as like 1 and 2, but they're like the same as like Banana Blitz onward, so like I think that's fine. And then the other one's you not showing any presence in the game, which I know you can't talk about, so I'm not going to draw anything out of you. But yeah, a lot of people are like, where's Brian Matt? And I think, what's the girl's name, Carolyn? I think she's she's pretty good. I like her. Me personally, I like her.
Yeah, that all had to do with issues with how do we say, bad feelings with not honoring contracts or not honoring credits and royalties. It's something that Sega is very, very weak on, and it's not just me. I know Patrick Harlan's manager, known her for 20 years, and we have also, Naomi-san also had a shtick, an issue with how this was being dealt with, on Patrick's side. So Sega doesn't always play fair. That's just the way it is, and that's the way the Japanese can be at times. For 30 years. Yeah, exactly. And it's a business is a business, and I thought it best that I just kind of keep my mouth shut for the while, because for me personally, I just want people to be happy and to enjoy the game. It's not about me, it's about them and enjoying the game, and I hope they get what they can get out of it. And but sometimes it's nice to be just a player and just to have something presented to you and not being a person behind the scenes, because sometimes being behind the scenes is not pretty, and sometimes it works great, and other times it doesn't work well at all, and gets into the politics of business and of law, and things that I really don't want to spend time dealing with at this stage in my life. But I also believe you have to, being fair is fair, and I don't say that just for myself. I say that for the other narrators that were kind of treated irresponsibly by Sega. And but I don't understand how or why these things happen. It's not something that I would do, or it's not in my DNA to treat narrators. I mean, to me, my fellow foreign narrators as well, or even Patrick, who I've known for I think 25 years. I think all of them deserve. We all work very, very hard. We are behind the scenes, so we do see things that we wish we didn't see. But I would hope that in a perfect world, that we would all get along and we would understand and we would play fair. this is not always the case, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's not going to change the way that I conduct business or how I'm going to be doing, future narrations or present narrations that I'm working on now. I will always, I still believe in being faithful both to the players and also to the company that I did the narration for. I'm very proud to be the main announcer, but I would wish that Sega could honor or keep their word, especially in Japan where honor is such a big thing. Kind of fell short this time, but c'est la vie. That's life.
Yeah. It just happens. A bunch of unfortunate stuff, but you're still around. You're still kicking. Like,
I hope so.
Yeah. You're still like, people will always love you, no matter who. Even Banana Mania, the announcer, as we know now, is a girl. Like, people still love you, like, regardless of everything. But yeah, got any other questions?
I think that's it for now. We'll see what happens in September. I'm sure you're going to get a few more leaks, probably till like second week of September, and then things will go quiet, and then the big push will come out for the event. I think a lot of things depend on too. Right now, Japan is just being overwhelmed with being insanely late with vaccinations, and this is going to be something that's going to play through for at least another month anyway over there. And so yeah, when I get back, it'll be interesting. So
definitely
take it day by day. That's it. So
yeah, one day at a time.
Exactly.
Before we go, I have one last request.
Sure.
Could you say a quick ready go to the audience?
Sure, of course. No water here, dry voice. Let's give it a jump. Okay, 1 second. Ready? Go!
Yes, I love it. You still got it. After 20 years, you still got it.
I've been blessed and lucky enough to keep working and have to take care of the old vocal cords, and yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for agreeing to do it with me. I know, like, you're a busy man, so I was like, and you were like, yo, we'll do it at 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, okay, set my alarm. I gotta wake up early.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's jumping a lot of time zones lately, so.
No, yeah, it makes sense. Definitely.
Okay. Listen, you take good care, and thank you very much.
Yep, thank you so much, Brian. Good to see you.
Okay,
bye.
All the best. Cheers. Bye-bye now.